And your piece, your statement, tell us more about it.
I think my statement, for me, I had one word that I was focusing on, and that was survivor. Rape survivors, murder survivors, people who have survived attacks. And I looked at my own life and how many close calls I had, how many times I've survived something. And I recently wrote a play earlier this year which spoke about a couple and the dynamics within a couple. And at the end of the play, she gets home from work and her partner is the one who rapes her. And this is something that I've been working with for the last year or so, about the idea that when you're home, you're not safe. And I know there's a lot of women in our country that are surviving every day just because of the home that they live in. And then there's the other side of it, that where we're safe at home, but we're not safe the minute we leave the house to go and achieve what we are meant to do and be. And I've just gotten so tired of surviving. And I think that was where the main thing with my statement is, that I don't think that a lot of the men in this country realize the admin a woman has to go through to do something as simple as go to the shop or go for a run. I have to make sure that someone knows who my Uber driver is. I have to share my trip. If I go for a run, someone has to know what time I'm leaving, where I'm running. Someone has to run with me because I can't run alone. I might not come home. And it seems like such simple tasks, but it takes a lot more energy from a South African woman to complete that task. Something like family gatherings. You know, you think you're going to a family gathering, but you're not aware of the fact that one of your cousins is at a family gathering, but she's afraid of uncle this and uncle that, and the energy it takes to survive that kind of lifestyle. And I've just gotten to a point where I feel tired of surviving. I want to live, and that's kind of a mantra that I'm living by at the moment. And a lot of the youth that I work with is, where are we finding the pockets so that we can continue to live, because we can't live normal lives anymore. And like, if something happens to you and you were maybe wearing a tight top or a short skirt, or you were alone, that'll be the conversation. We say, why was she alone? She should know better. But the person who murdered her should know better. We should all know better, that we're in that immediate vicinity to assist that person. And just that idea of also feeling alone, feeling like if something should happen, who do you speak to? Where do you go? Who do you call? All of that, it's a very lonely path, and there's very little access to the survival. So we have this idea that because you survived the attack, you're okay. There's so much more that happens after that. Your whole life is changed from that point, and all those in your life as well. So I think that was the main thing for me, with my statement, that we need to start living now. We're tired of surviving.
Yeah. And what do you guys think of these kinds of campaigns in relation to body of evidence? And I mean, there are many other campaigns, there are many other activities that are dealing with gender-based violence. People are doing different things to really engage with this scourge of our society. What do you think such platforms give the society? How do you think such campaigns help and assist in bringing about change and consciousness to our society? You can fight. I'm not going to say who can respond.
With the campaigns going on, and there's constantly people who are making people aware. Even for someone who was raped like 10 years ago, and them seeing that there are people who are pushing for people to stand and speak their truth, I think it gives those people who are still scared to speak the strength because some of them, they do not have the support. And some of them, it takes them long to realize that, man, actually this happened to me. I was not faking it. I was not thinking like, man, this person is doing this to me. It's something that happened. So with people coming up and telling their stories and campaigns like this, reaching out like wide, especially like in the rural areas, people don't know much about this and who to speak to. So if they can log on to their phones and can see on Facebook that there's this project that's happening, and I can reach Uputubanbani, who I can speak to and can direct me to a psychologist who can help me speak about this, then you are changing someone's life. Even if it's just one person, they are giving it, even if it's one person or two people, the courage to stand up and speak their truth. So I am grateful for conversations like this to continue happening and to reach out like far, because like sometimes you don't understand and you don't know that this is happening. This is something that's happening. You're not in denial, but you have not registered it.
Yeah.
I think also, like Vuvu was saying, you kind of feel a camaraderie and you don't feel so alone. And that network does provide a lot of power. And I think largely a campaign like this, it places pressure on those people that are in positions of authority to take this topic more seriously and to have harsher consequences going. The more we speak about it, the more they won't be able to ignore us. And hopefully that there'll be major changes within the legislation. And that's not going to happen just with one conversation and with one letter. And I think also to think about Bongile Mantsai's statement. It was so interesting to see it from a man's point of view, although I have my father and my brothers and my husband, but him also just redefining masculinity and redefining what is okay, creates a platform even for men to find their place in this world where they are not raping and beating women. And I think that's a very important part of our healing. And then as well, appreciating the divine feminine and understanding her place in society, and respecting and paying homage to that womb. I think it's something that wasn't always done. And I know even culturally, like in my particular culture, you know, the man is the one who earns the money and he has the last say. And with more campaigns like this, we also begin to unearth the strength that women actually have. And we are now starting to say, we can stand on our own 2 feet, and we want to. And we no longer want to be victims. And I do think that a campaign like this also encourages people to come together and unite against something that we are all seeing. You might feel isolated in your own world, and now you know that you're actually not alone in your journey of healing.
Yeah.